Welcome everybody, Chef Katie Mae here for another episode of Delicious Living Live. We are going to be making a red curry today, Thai red curry with lots of vegetables and chickpeas. Let me know in the comments that you can hear me okay. Hello, welcome. So glad you're all joining us. So we have this dish, this warm, comforting dish that is going to nourish us physically and mentally. Just super flavorful, comforting, satisfying. So if you guys haven't gotten the recipe yet, definitely download that from that I sent out today. And if you're not on our email list, if you're just joining us for the first time here on YouTube, then the link to the recipe is on our blog in the description below. But there's also a link to get the featured recipe, and I will send you the editable PDF version, which is always nice to have, so it's really clean and easy to use in the kitchen. And then that will also give you notifications of every future Thursday live show. So this is going to be the best way, food like this, these dishes is the best way to nourish our immune system and take our health into our own hands. More than anything else, keeping your body full of good nutrition and all of the other healthy living habits we can do to really put our own health in our hands, take control of our health is so important. And so to start off with, I'm going to get our first step is making the sauce in the blender. But before I do that, I actually want to get our vegetables going on the stovetop, okay? So first off, I have onion and carrots here. So some diced onion, and then I'm just adding these to the pot. I'll show you in a minute. And some carrots. My carrots are cut on a diagonal, so they're sliced pretty thin, 1/4 inch thick, trying thinner than thicker so they cook a little bit faster. But cutting them on the diagonal makes it really pretty. And so we're having those sauteed on the stovetop. I'll show you here. Let's switch over. Let's see. So carrot and onion here, and the heat is at medium. Got a little bit of green in there. And then we're going to add in, let's see, we want to add in our other vegetables once these are going. Right? So we're going to create some moisture with the onion. Okay. And now we can make our sauce in the blender. Okay, so here I have just Vitamix. Any blender will work. Doesn't even need to be a high-tech, high-powered blender for this one. So we're going to add in our broth here. We've got 2 cups. You want to get a low-sodium broth, Pacific brand. Low sodium has no oil added. Otherwise, most of the broth has oil added. So that means extra fat, calories that we absolutely do not need. So if you can make your own homemade broth, that's going to be even better. And we have, along with the broth, we have our garlic, and I actually minced up the garlic here. So I'm just going to add this. You don't need to mince it though, because we're just putting it into the blender whole, or you can either way, obviously. And then we have our ginger. So ginger, you can even put the ginger in whole. You don't need to peel it, but in case you did want to peel it, you can just use the back of a spoon. Kind of hold your spoon like this and use the back to peel the ginger like we would. Works so much better than a vegetable peeler because you can get into those crevices, right? You can get right in there. Okay, so we're just gonna. I'm going to break off a piece of this and put it in to our blender. And then we have, our dates. I actually have got to pull those out. So we've got some deglet dates today. I usually use medjool dates, and this would be 3 medjool dates. So I'm going to do deglet dates. This just adds a little bit of sweetness. Trying to go for the bigger deglet dates, and 4 of them. Deglet are a little less sweet, and they're definitely smaller than the medjool, so that's why you do a couple more deglet dates. Yes, I did put the whole 2 cups of the broth in the blender. It's not, the difference is if I didn't put it all in there, I could put it right into the pot and get everything going in the pot, but we can add this right to the pot, so it doesn't really matter. That's the thing, you got to follow your recipes, and it's a good idea to read all the way through them before going. I often just kind of make the dish without actually going step by step with my recipes, because I know the end result I want, and so it kind of, when you know what you're getting in the end, you can do multiple processes there, right? So good question though, Mary. Okay, now we have our lime juice. So I'm adding a 1/4 cup of lime juice, and this would be about 2 limes. Each lime only gives you about 2 tablespoons of juice. Maybe you could get 3 tablespoons out of it, but that's a big stretch. So 2 limes, maybe 3 limes if they're really small and a little dried. So then we have our vinegar. We're going to do, let's see, 2 tablespoons of vinegar. This is rice vinegar, but you could use an apple cider vinegar if you wanted to. And then our curry paste. So you can hear my stovetop going. I'm going to stir. Let's check our onion and carrot. We can stir those. See, if I hadn't added all of the vegetable broth, I could add some of that here, and I can even still do that. Watch, just pour a little bit in here, right? And this gets the carrot cooking a little bit more because we want it nice and tender. And you, with just a dry saute like we had, the onions and the carrot cooking right at the bottom of the pan, no oil or anything added, no liquid, it takes a long time for the carrots to get really soft in that way. So now I've added the liquid, I can actually move on and add in my other vegetables and get this. So our broccoli, and then we have zucchini here. Instead of green beans today, I'm using zucchini. There were no fresh, good-looking green beans at the store, so we did that. And then bell pepper, right? And our chickpeas. Add it in all at once and get that going. Turn the heat up again, and this will start, we don't have much water in here, but it'll start steaming it all, and then we can add in our sauce when it's ready in just a few minutes. Okay. So curry paste. If you don't have curry paste, this is the one I'm using. Thai Kitchen is one I buy, and it's available at most grocery, health food stores definitely, and sometimes even other conventional grocery stores. Thai Kitchen, it still has salt added though, so there's no oil added, there's no sugar added, and that is really important. No sugar and no oil, because those are highly processed ingredients. The salt I'm not as concerned about because I'm only using a little bit, and the salt is a stimulant to our appetite and makes us want to eat more. Well, we're just having vegetables here. We do have a little bit of the coconut milk, but this is a great dish that you can enjoy a lot of, right? So it's okay that, and this depends on the individual, of course. So this has a little bit of salt in it. And I don't think it's as big of a deal because the amount we're using compared to oil and sugar. However, if you don't have it, or you just don't want to use any item that has a little bit of salt in it, which I totally respect, because I did that for 3 years. I threw out all of the items I had, like this curry paste, went in the trash when I started eating a whole food plant-based diet without any sugar, oil, or salt, because if I allowed even a little bit in products like this, it was a slippery slope, and before you know it, I had some really salty items in the house, or I could have. So I drew that bright line. That being said, if you want an alternative, you can make your own curry paste. I'll have to come up with a recipe to give you guys who want to do that, but right now you can just Google making your own curry paste, or you could use a curry powder, super easy. I don't recommend curry leaves. If you get confused and you're looking up curries and doing kind of a homemade curry, curry leaves are very different flavor and more potent than a curry paste or curry powder, which is a blend of a variety of seasonings. Okay, lemongrass too. If you're doing a little bit of curry powder, lemongrass is added to the curry paste, and it's a ingredient that makes a big difference in flavor. So it's not essential, but if you are doing the curry powder and you can get some lemongrass, that would be a great thing to add in. Oh, great to know, Jessie. Jessie said the Makala brand of organic curry is a great. I'm not sure if that's a paste or powder, but I'm thinking maybe it's a paste. And you could substitute white wine vinegar. Definitely any vinegar aside from balsamic or a seasoned balsamic would work here. And depending on the seasoned balsamic, it might work. But of course, you don't want to like add peach balsamic here. So let's see if I missed any other questions. While I was talking about this, let's add the curry paste. So we're going to do 1 spoon. I've got half a tablespoon measurement here. Again, these are the magnetic measuring spoons. They're so fantastic because they have 2 sides, and one side is an oval shape, so it fits in these jars really well. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric, and you don't need the turmeric, but this is such a powerful spice, extra anti-inflammatory properties, why not? And it brightens up the dish even more so, gives us a little more color. Okay, so we're doing 1 teaspoon of that. And then we can blend this up. So, here we go. Just a quick blend. Wanted to make sure those dates got blended well. So now look at this. You can pour this liquid, delicious curry sauce, it's almost like a soup. Pour this right into our vegetable dish, and you don't need to add any coconut milk if you would rather keep that out. Just note that you can go straight with this amount. I'm going to show you right now we're putting it in, but I want to let you know that if you're not going to use the coconut milk, or if you're using a light coconut milk like I am, we're going to put that in just a second. If you're not using any though, you want to be aware that this dressing or sauce that I'm adding right now might be a little spicier depending on how much you can handle that ginger and curry seasoning, okay? Because the fat, the coconut milk here, this is going to cut the spice, and it balances that flavor really nicely. Okay, so if you're wanting the coconut out, then just note that you might want to decrease those spices. And look how pretty this broccoli is. The broccoli and the carrots and bell pepper. I just love the colors here. Okay, so we're going to let this cook for just a few more minutes. All right, any questions, let me know in the comments. So instead of chickpeas, actually I would recommend not a whole bean, but I would recommend tempeh. If you like tempeh, fermented soybeans, so much umami, so much flavor, and the texture would be fantastic in this recipe as well. And it's Thai. Tempeh is from Indonesia originally, so it would be a fantastic replacement to the chickpeas. If you don't want to do the tempeh though, and you don't want to do chickpeas, you could do kidney beans. That'd be nice, but I would go for maybe red lentils. Red lentils would give it they break down and disintegrate, kind of give you a creaminess for this dish, and it would blend in to sauce as well, so you wouldn't really see them, but it would give you a creaminess. Oh, fantastic. This would be an excellent option for anniversary, Anne. That would be so much fun. Happy anniversary, by the way. The red curry paste, this red curry paste is not spicy. It's got a spice to it. It's hard to identify the difference between spice and heat, but there's no heat to it. Just a little bit of spice. But spice is spice. So although it might not be heat, it's still got a strong spice. Hard to put, say. I think if you order like Thai food out of restaurants, a lot of Thai food restaurants are super spicy, and so this would be like the milds. This would be like a 1 out of 5 on that scale, right? If you want some more spice, add some red pepper flakes, or a little bit of cayenne, but red pepper flakes would be the most appropriate for this cuisine, for Thai. And you don't need to add the tempeh before adding at all. Actually adding it when you're cooking it with the water, once there's water in the pot, that would be fantastic, because the water cooking methods, whether it's steaming or boiling or simmering, any of those moist cooking methods will reduce the bitterness that some people notice with tempeh. So if you want extra flavor in yours, might be doing a little bit more concentrated flavor and using things like oil, you could brown the tempeh ahead of time. However, that's not what this show is about. We want to try to minimize any of those highly concentrated flavoring. So yeah, just something, same with tofu. You'll find people can make dishes look really great by browning the tempeh, browning the tofu, and that might be more appealing, but it's difficult to do that without oil and make it actually keep the consistency and the integrity of the tofu and the tempeh without kind of making it mush. Use soy milk and some coconut extract, absolutely. Yeah, I would recommend, if you want to use the soy milk, Leslie, you probably know this, organic soy milk, and one that doesn't have any extra added ingredients. So West Soy milk is a great brand. It's just organic soybeans and water. And I have coconut extract here. I was going to mention that, so thank you for reminding me. Coconut extract with broth or any type of non-dairy milk. If you can make it at home, we'll do a class on non-dairy milks soon, especially we're going to go deep into that for anyone that's in the Delicious Living membership who gets the private classes on Wednesday. We'll be doing a show on non-dairy milks very soon. Again, yeah, just making sure that you don't have any of those extra added ingredients, carrageenan, stuff like that is ideally left out of your meals. So, oh, Donna, you made this last week. Awesome. So fun. So let me show you the dish here. Again, this is something how you cook your soup here, your vegetables, your curry. Depends on the texture you want. You could let this go a little bit longer, and your broccoli could end up a little bit, or would be a little bit softer. However, I like this dish with the vegetables having a little bit of their crispness, right? So just a fork, and we'll show you. You can see the carrots. So poke them easily with a fork, but they're not breaking on me. Right? The zucchini, you don't want to cook for very long, so soon, if I let this go any longer, the zucchini is going to start to kind of break apart on me, and I don't want that. So this looks really great just the way it is. And how long did that take to make? It's about 20 minutes, I think, from start to finish. And that was with me talking and everything. So of course I already had my vegetables processed, but I think that came together really quickly. What do you say? Dinner in 30 minutes. Let me make myself a bowl. Let's see. Do just looking for my big ladle here. Okay. So. Right. If you had the tempeh in here, you put it in when you add all of your vegetables, when you add the second batch of vegetables, the broccoli and zucchini, and that will be enough time for the tempeh to cook. It only needs 5 minutes or so. So let's see. There you go. Delicious. Super hot, so it's got to cool a little bit. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. Let's see. Sweetened almond milk. Oh, that's another thing, is the nuttiness. The nuttiness is really nice here, so almond milk would be great too. Cashew, a blended cashew. And the coconut extract goes away, so just a couple drops of the coconut extract, Leslie, is a good idea. Yeah, a teaspoon, Elisa says. Good. All right, you guys. Oh, let me go back to my camera here. So, oh yes, definitely serve this over rice or quinoa. Rice is more traditional for, oh, that didn't work. For Asian and Thai food. Rice is fantastic, especially because it would soak up all of this delicious curry broth and everything. I don't have any at the moment, but now I'm wanting some, so I could just throw it in the Instant Pot. It'd be ready in half an hour. The Instant Pot, put the timer on for 20 minutes. You're good to go. All right, we'll see you guys next week. It's the holiday, or another holiday. Valentine's Day is next month, so I'm going to be doing a couple dishes. Like someone said, this is a great dish for the anniversary, but a couple more dishes are going to be made that would be great for date night. Okay, so if you guys are liking this, you will like this curry, you want to give it a try, or maybe you've already tried it, definitely give me a like. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get the notifications whenever we go live, and we'll see you back. Oh, and also keep an eye out on in your email this weekend. Tomorrow morning, hopefully, I'll be sending you an email with the option to purchase all of my e-cookbooks. I have 4 e-cookbooks I made a couple years ago, and they are going to be available again. I just revamped them, so I'm sending you guys that link tomorrow. You get all 4 for $25. It's a fantastic deal, and if you're a Delicious Living member, then you get 20% off on top of that. So stay tuned for that. And you guys all have a delicious weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone. Oh, spinach. You're right. My spinach I totally left out. So pause on that. Goodbye. What we're going to do here, I just have the spinach. It wasn't sitting here in my little bowls because I rinsed it. So my spinach was just rinsed in a bowl of water in the sink because it was pretty dirty. And so I'm just going to use my little salad spinner here. And the spinach is tender, light green, so you want to add it at the end. And if you're someone that likes to, really optimize the nutrients, I would add it You could add it right to your individual bowls and stir it in. And then any that's left over, instead of adding all of the spinach to the pot, if you have any of the soup curry left over and you're going to be reheating it tomorrow, it'd be best not to reheat the spinach twice. So what you could actually do is leave the spinach out of your pot, put it into the individual bowls, and then once your soup has cooled to room temperature and you're putting it in the fridge, then add the rest of the spinach. So, or you could just leave it out until you reheat it tomorrow. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to add some of my spinach here on top, and I can stir this in, right? And that actually will help to cool the soup faster. Can mix this in, and that wilts our spinach. But if you're someone that likes the spinach more cooked, of course you can do that. But this will be just fine for wilting it. You just got to give it a couple minutes. Yes. Oh, Mary Jean, you've not had curry? Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad you're here. You're going to love it. Again, if you don't have the curry paste, just use curry powder. Definitely many options out there. So hope you guys have a delicious weekend. See you next time. Bye, everyone.